go, baby! I'm pumped. I'm about to start my reselling for the day, and I plan on being out here for about 8 to 10 hours. But I want to try something new for this video specifically, where we're just going to a TJ Maxx. Nice shot of exactly how dirty my window is there. But I got a comment on one of my more recent sourcing videos about asking me if I've ever used SellerAmp SAS, their mobile app, in order to source. And I hadn't before because I knew that it was in beta and they didn't just have a normal app, so I didn't necessarily want to try something like that out. And I'm pretty comfortable with how I'm sourcing now, but it might be a good option for you if you don't use an inventory system like Inventory Lab, which has Scoutify2, because it's about $40 more expensive than SellerAmp is every single month. The comment was from DJ Crazy Jimmy right here, essentially just asking if I've ever sourced with it because it has some capabilities like a Keepa-like feature, which will show you how many sales are happening every single month, what the actual volume is, as well as price history, other sellers, and auto and gate built in. So I'm gonna try it out. So before I got here today, I went and downloaded it. You can see it right up here in the corner. That's the SellerAmp one. Right next to it is the beta testing version called Test Flight. You actually need to download that first in the App Store, and then you can go back online to the website that SellerAmp is on, click into downloading that app, and then you'll be able to download it through the beta testing app. But once you log in with your credentials, if you go ahead and pull it up real fast, you can use it just like any of these other apps. There's a scan feature. The one thing that I'm wondering is whether or not I can just scan from this page, or if I have to click into this top bar, because that alone would probably be a deal breaker for me, because the amount of time that it would take to have to tap that instead of just scanning products. So let's head into TJ Maxx. We'll try to spend about $400 to $500 and make about $400 to $500 of profit. For now though, we're just gonna use this, and then we'll talk about the total profits after we get out of TJ Maxx, and I'll share with you some good tips about selling on Amazon FBA and sourcing at these type of stores along the way. All right, went ahead and snagged my scanner, which I'll link down in the description. Saves me a lot of time when I'm sourcing. I should probably grab my phone too. Heading into TJ Maxx, I'm always a little bit more worried when I'm trying something new and I'm sourcing, just because it takes so much longer to source. I'll be very interested to see how SellerAmp works. Let me know your opinion after this video about the new mic situation. I am wearing a lav mic now, which I think should up the quality of the audio. All right, so this TJ Maxx is connected to a home goods, which makes it a little bit more interesting. I normally don't find things in the home goods side unless they put the pet stuff there, but what I'm looking for here is obviously seeing how this app works, but also I like to look for like journals here, athletic stuff, clothes, and then like makeup, topical, kind of creamy kind of things. I tend to sell those pretty decently and they have a good return on investment. So see if SellerAmp helps or hurts with sourcing. I'll give you my full review of the mobile app here to see if it's even worth it just for retail arbitrage, even though it's mainly an online arbitrage tool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start screen recording so we can get a better view of the phone, because I noticed as I was editing the last sourcing videos that it was a lot harder to see than when I use my normal camera. So right here in the clearance section for like the makeup stuff, I'm gonna start by seeing, just going on the home page, if you can just scan things. My scanner obviously has to turn on first. Okay, it should be connected and it's not searching. Okay, so it says on the app to tap scan below or shake your device and scan a UPC. So I'm gonna shake it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that pulls up. Seems pretty slow. I'm wondering if it's my internet or not. Okay, it's broken. Here's something, this might be good. $4.50. Wondering if from this page I can scan this. No, that stinks. You have to press that. That's a big feature that is missing from this, I think. 13 sales a month, max cost -$1. This is nice that you can see all this information, buybacks information. It's essentially just SellerAmp from online. Let me find a winning product real fast, and then we'll walk through what to look for on this page. Oh, if you shake it, that's not good. If you shake it, then it just goes back to the random scanning page. Might because it's new. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time, try to like it, but we'll see. Oh yeah, I really don't like that I can't just scan that. What about from the home page? No, I don't like having to tap something on the screen to scan it. Okay, it just actually worked. It does work from the scan page. That's good. That's good, that's good. I don't know why it wasn't working for me initially there. Try it again. Good, that's really good. Okay, that is redeeming this already. All right, so I found 2 products to look at, which are pretty interesting. Honestly, the information that is just on one page on this is really nice. And now that I figured out that it actually does work just by scanning it without touching anything, it makes life a lot more interesting. So here's what we're looking at for this one. The cost on it is $4 here at TJ Maxx. There's a bunch of different sections on this page. At the very top here, we can see what the item is, how many reviews, the ASIN, the UPC. We could check to see if we're eligible to sell it in the quick info, how many alerts there are. If it's green, it's normally good. The rank, which is 190,000, which is the top 2% it shows you. There's an estimated 4 sales per month, so you already know it's not great, but the max cost is $432. And this is based off of information that you put into SellerAmp when you sign up on the computer. I wonder if I can go to my settings and change it even in here. Actually, yes. So it looks like you have all of these settings that we can walk through real fast. Here we're also looking at minimum bestseller rank, which I just put 0. I don't know why you'd ever put a minimum. Maximum, which is 2% for it to be a good buy for you. Minimum profit is $3, which you can put in there if you're not wanting to buy like smaller profit items in terms of dollar amount. And minimum ROI, which I have is 40%. I'm actually gonna change that, or 50%. I'm gonna change that to 40. Prep fee, which says $150, which actually that was for my online arbitrage stuff, so I can change that to 0. I'm wondering if there is a way to do one for retail and one for online. I'll put it on the screen if I found a way to do that in the editing. The minimum fee, miscellaneous fee, inbound shipping. I put 40 cents per pound because that's pretty average. Ranks and prices time frame are based on the current time frame, not any historic, but you could do this based on 30-day, 90, 100, and all time. That's a really cool thing. Keep it on search results, yes. And then just a bunch of other panels and stuff that you can set up on the computer, which transfer over looks like directly to the app. This is actually pretty well designed. I'm pretty stoked on this. Save. Okay, so looking at that, I am eligible. 5 sales per month. Max cost now is $5.82 because we're at 40% return on investment and we don't have that $1.50 prep fee. And we're looking at $4.50 of profit with a cost price. We can just put that at $4 because we are doing tax exempt. And that's just like a general quick view, which is essentially almost all of what you're getting on Scoutify2, which is good information, except you do have to check your eligibility by clicking another button. From here as well though, if we scroll down a little bit, we have the ranks and prices. And this is where I think SellerAmp kind of takes the cake in terms of the information that they give you on one page. You have the rank, the buy box currently, the lowest FBA seller, which is an important thing to know, lowest FBM seller, HIPAA drops in the last 30 days. So 5 drops in the last 30 days, essentially how many sales they're estimated to be. Estimated time to sale is 3 weeks, which is a pretty long time. That's a good metric. I haven't really seen if that's accurate or not, but then you can look at the past 30 days to see averages, past 90 and 180 days. But what's really nice about this is you can scroll down even more and see the charts, which is essentially just a keep it chart. Got a buy box when offers came on the listing. The offer count has risen, so that's actually probably primed to drop. I don't think I'll get on this listing because look at how many offers there are and there's only been 5 sales. But then scrolling back up from that, you can look at the alerts page. You could see Amazon shared the buy box and said Amazon hasn't been on the listing in 6 months. It's unlikely to be private label. No known IP issues, which is another really important thing when you're doing resale arbitrage, to look at IP claims, because if you get a bunch of those, you can get your account deactivated. I have some videos on that as well. Not meltable, meaning that I can send it in now to FBA without any issues. No variations, so I don't have to check Keepa's variations page. And then down here, you can look at the profit calculator, which shows you all the fees, your potential profit margin, as well as your potential return on investment. Then you can put notes and tags, and you can export it to a Google Sheet, which is how you would be doing kind of the same thing that I do on Scoutify2 with buy lists, but I think I'd still prefer to just do it on Inventory Lab because it makes my life a lot easier. Going down even more though, gosh, this thing has a lot of information. We have the offers page where you could see what their seller fulfilled prime, FBA or FBM. That's pretty much how you use SellerAmp to source. Pretty happy with it so far. So I'm just gonna go back and start sourcing a lot, and I'll share with you any problems and good things that I have along the way. All right, so some pretty interesting things here. I did find some profit, 2, 4, 6, 8, like 11, 12 items, not a lot. One thing that we're gonna have to look at here is going to be auto engage. This guy looks real good. I mean, max cost is $32, it's 12 bucks here. But alerts, first off for this one, which is really nice, right at the very top, you see what the alert is. This is IP. Some of them say V for variation. Some of them, you're just restricted. Eligibility on the left says no, so I can't even sell this, but there is that IP alert right there, which is very nice because that's one of the most stressful parts completely of selling on Amazon. If there was no IP stuff that I had to worry about, I would almost have no struggles with Amazon at all. This is just a good example of a product that you shouldn't be buying, which is really nice that I don't have to go outside of this one app to see, because first off, it's not in my target cost, but let's say this is $8, so it's in my target cost and make 50% ROI. If we go down here to the Keepa chart, we can see how much the review count is going way up. Also, it's nice on Keepa that it doesn't like move your screen around when you do it, but the offer count is up like 29, and it's a really high price, and Amazon's off the listing. So that price is probably about to tank on this item because it got to these stores and people are picking it up. And then I have one last little bug that kind of annoys me when I'm doing this. Obviously, to increase sourcing efficiency, I like scanning items and then moving on to the next one really fast, even while the page is loading, so I'm not just taking up a bunch of my time, especially if it's a product that I'm questioning on or it's like a first time I'm scanning a brand. So let's just say that I scan this and then wanted to scan something else as it pulls up. I scan it. One of the things that I don't like very much is as I move over to the next brand, since I shook my phone, the scan feature came up instead of letting it load while I went and looked for something else, just because I moved my phone in a way that kind of shook it. I have used the scan feature and I have liked it because there's been some times, there's a different product that you couldn't really read the barcode very well on my scanner because it was super light, but it did pick up on the camera, so I could just shake it and get to that. I'd rather just click that button though. I'm wondering if there's a feature that could turn that off, but I don't see a way to do that, so I don't think there is. Well, it definitely wasn't the best trip for me. Ended up spending $389, which is all right, because we were in there for like 2-ish hours, very long time. Honestly, a lot of that was just thinking through shooting the video as well as learning the new software, so it makes sense that it took a little bit longer than it normally would. But we'll check to see how much profit is all in here, because that is one more thing that I do have to contend with when I am using SellerAmp instead of Scoutify2. We're gonna go onto my laptop and see how long it takes to actually inventory everything. And then after we do that, I'll give you my final thoughts on SellerAmp and if I'm gonna be changing to it. All situated real fast. I did forget my keypad, so this is actually going to take longer than I would anticipate. Let's see how long it actually takes. Awesome. That That took, come on, phone, don't be dumb. Okay, there it is. 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Just significant. 11 minutes is not a short amount of time. I do feel like I was able to make some decisions faster in the store, some decisions longer, but that might just be learning. I'm gonna continue to try to use the app and filter it in. I might create buy lists in the store before I check out, because I always like to know how much I'm going to spend, so that if something gets rung up wrong, I'll know. And that way I'm double checking inventory, because there was something that I bought that was on a shelf with something else that I bought, and I just pulled the whole shelf without seeing that those two things aren't even on Amazon. Overall though, that was a very successful run. My sales rank is 67,000, sales value of 1,000, total buy cost of 362, and a net profit of 458. Well over 100%. It's like 130% return on investment. Very happy with how that turned out. But real quick, in terms of using SellerAmp in the store, I started out not impressed. That was literally not for the sake of the video. I just didn't think that it was going to be a good app, especially having become so used to using something else and becoming fast with it. But I was very surprised with how much I liked using that to source. If you don't have Inventory Lab and you don't use Scoutify2, or you're just looking for something that's relatively cheaper, I think this is like $15 to $20 a month. I'll leave the link down in the description. I think you can get 50% off your first month plus a month free trial or a 2-week free trial. I'll leave all that information in the description. If you want to pick it up with my affiliate link, that would greatly support the channel. But I think I'll continue to use this for sure. Really blown away about how useful it is. And you don't need to have Keepa as well as this app. You just need to have this. So honestly, right now I'm spending about $75 a month for sourcing for Keepa as well as Inventory Lab. Just getting this for $15 a month pretty much replaces that if you don't include the shipment and tracking of things, as well as seeing some further information in Keepa's data, which I will continue to keep, but you don't need that if you're beginning to sell. I would definitely just get SellerAmp because you can do online and retail arbitrage, and this app is very impressive. If you want to watch another video about the softwares that I use, here's a link to my playlist for Be Cool, which is my repricing software, which is something else that you should look into after you sourced and shipped your inventory into Amazon. See you there if you want. Otherwise, see you next time.